Hey everyone, it's Sean here, your guide to Warcraft, and I'm doing my complete guide for the Chromie Scenario. Now, if you already know what this is about, you already have a basic idea of what you're doing, and you just want to skip ahead to the complete run, I will have timestamps down in the video description. So if you just want to skip ahead to see the complete successful run I did to beat it, you can do that. If you're completely new to this scenario and you want to just hear a bit of an introduction and I guess a bit of a beginner's guide, I will be talking about that now, so you can stick with me, but like I said, if not, just skip ahead, that's no problem. So this, I guess, scenario, you have to save Chromie from dying. Now she's being attacked from 8 different points in time. You have to save her 8 times within a 15-minute time window. Now the scenario starts with, I guess, a bit of an intro where you kind of go back in time, you see Chromie die, you go back in time again, she dies again, so you have to sort of, I guess, find clues to save Chromie's life. Now the clues are going to take you to all 4 of the dragon shrines in Dragonblight, and then eventually this will take you to another 4 locations where you have to save her. And basically, this scenario, you will just be running it to start with to find clues. You will be going to the dragon shrines, you'll find clues. The next time you go there, because you've already been there once, you're now repeating time. So when you go there again, the scenario will have changed. So this is a progressive scenario, so you don't have to repeat all your progress every time you restart, which is great. It's a bit like with an army training where you progress forwards, but I think this is a much more, I guess, cooler way of doing it, as there's no time gate on it. The only time gate here is she has a talent tree. Now, you don't actually need to complete the talent tree to beat this scenario, which is a great thing. The talents make it easier. Well, without a doubt, they make it easier. But I only ever got Chromie to be a healer, which is the second one down. Beyond that, I didn't need the rest of it. Now, when you arrive in a dragon shrine, mostly what you're going to be doing is killing mobs. And, for example, here in the Ruby Dragon Shrine, there's some, like, Scourge, I guess, elite mobs. Kill them, and then eventually you get a quest to kill a boss. And once you kill the boss, that counts as one of the threats, which is, I guess, threatening Chromie's life. But obviously, the second time you come here, because you already now know where this elite is hiding, you can just go straight there. So, like I said, this is progressive, it's not repeatable in that sense, so you can just go straight back. So, like, for example, this mob in the Obsidian Dragon Shrine, you only have to kill this once to discover the location of a Dreadlord. Once you've done that, you do not have to kill him ever again. So, at this point in the scenario, you're just learning. You're going to Dragon Shrines, you're finding clues, and you're just basically in a learning phase. You are not trying to beat the timer. The timer at this point is not something you need to be focusing on. Obviously, you can just try and get as much done in the timer, but because this is repeatable whenever you want, and, you know, there's no charge to repeating it, you don't have to give her Nether Shards or anything like that, or Ancient Mana. So, you know, don't fret about the timer at this point. So now we're moving on to the Chrono portal part of this guide. Now, when you kill an elite threat in one of the dragon shrines, they will drop a quest. You return this to the Wormrest Temple, and it will open up a Chrono portal to a separate point in time, so a separate instance, and this will contain another one of the threats. So there's 8 in total, 4 dragon shrines, 4 portals. So the first one, well, you don't have to do this in any specific order, but just for example's sake, the first one will take you to the Well of Eternity. There you just want to go through, kill mobs. Obviously, you just want to be learning again at this point. You're just trying to figure out where you're going, figure out where the chests are. There are time chests that you can pick up via the dragon shrines or in these instances, and then when you navigate it to the end, you will find another one of the elite threats. You kill the elite threat, then you take a portal back, and then you just go on to the next one. So for the next one I've done in this video, this is the battle for Andorral that takes place just after Cataclysm. There's another version of Chromie. She can't escape because of siege cannon, so depending on whether you're Horde or Alliance, you'll be going to the opposite factions, I guess, area in Andorral. And when you get there, there will be stars on your mini map. These will be marking elites which you'll be wanting to kill, but there's only 2 that drop the equipment that you need to take down the siege cannon. So you'll be learning this as you go along. There'll also be horsemen that drop some military equipment that you use here to take down 15% of the siege cannon's HP. So again, you just want to hop in here, learn where those NPCs spawn, learn where the chests spawn, you know, you'll be doing this for reputation and for experience anyway, so you know, there's no worry about the timer. Just go in and familiarize yourself with these areas. Now, the next one is Culling of Strathholm, and there will be a quest chain which launches it off at the start. Now, you're going to be running back and forth buying items from these vendors. Now, again, this is going to take some time, but the next time you come here, because you and Chromie have already been here, you now know in advance what these NPCs are going to ask for. So you can go to these vendors in advance, buy those items, and then when you actually go to do those quests, it will save you a lot of time. Then when you get to the end of the Culling of Strathholm, there will be the next boss and the next threat. And then lastly, we're going to Highjow. Not very big, it's just a bit on the edge of the cliff, and there's just going to be, I guess, a mini horde mode. There's just going to be waves of enemies that Chromie will freeze in time. You just kill these, and then once you kill enough, it will summon a great big, oh, there he is, fiery behemoth, and you just want to kill him. He's actually pretty easy, I found. He was probably the easiest of all these bosses. So you just want to kill him, and that is the last threat. Highjow is, without a doubt, I'd say the quickest and the easiest one to complete. Now, again, at this point, you will just be familiarizing yourself. You will also be getting the Sands of Time. The Sands of Time will offer buffs, reputation, epic items, and I will be going into more detail about that in the complete run through that I do in a second. But again, so before I'd even done my complete run through, I just was grinding out reps, so I got the Time Lord achievement and title, and now that would have unlocked all the talents. But again, talents are still time gated, so I couldn't actually get those. But that's all for the beginner's guide. We're now going to be moving on to my complete run through of the scenario. I will be talking about everything I'm doing and just going into the scenario in a lot more detail than I did in the beginner's version. So we're moving on to the more advanced section, and if you're willing to stick through for the whole video, it's going to be quite a long one. Probably the longest guide I've made. So when the scenario starts, there will be a quest atop Wormrest Temple which will offer you 3 Sands of Time. You want to pick that up, and for me, I just head in the general direction of where it is, whether it's north or south. And when you get to a dragon shrine, there's going to be some rares which are scattered around. This is one of them. This is by the Azure Dragon Shrine. These rares are very quick, very easy to kill. They can hit hard, it just, you know, you put them down before they can have a chance to do that. They will drop a Sands of Time, and I just use that to get a quick buff, nothing amazing. And then you just want to head straight to, I guess, your first boss. For me, I went here. My quest, which is actually taking me to the Emerald Dragon Shrine, I went to the Azure one first just because it's on the way. I can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone and just get a load of Sands of Time while I'm here. Now, this Void Lord, like I said, at this point you should have really familiarized yourself with the boss encounters and fights. So this one will actually hit extremely hard, but once you know how to just avoid that looming shadows, it becomes very easy. And, well, at this point, you know, you just kill him, take the Sands of Time. Obviously, Sands of Time are complete RNG, so you might get 2, you might get 3, and you never know. Now, I just come straight down here and I find one of the chests. These chests are on random spawns, so they might not always be in locations that you know. So again, back to familiarizing yourself with these dragon shrines and portals, because you can familiarize yourself with where they're going to spawn. So if one isn't up, you just know exactly where to go. Now, I use that to get some borrowed time. Borrowed time is if when you hit the 15-minute timer, you can now go beyond that, and you can, well, you know, get some extended time if you just want to get quite a few of those. Whenever extended time pops up, you just want to grab that whenever you can. And then moving over to the Emerald Dragon Shrine, I was able to find another one of the rares. You want to always be killing him. And then again, more stolen time for me. Then I just want to head down into the Emerald Dragon Shrine and kill the satyr. So again, depending on the quest that you get, you might be wanting to take a different route. I always start off in going the general direction of wherever the quest takes me. The quest is random, so it won't always take you to the same one. So if it was at the Obsidian, I probably would have gone to Ruby and then to Obsidian first and done this a different way round. Always important with this boss, always interrupt that sleep. That sleep debuff, I know it probably doesn't look like much, but that will cost you a few seconds of time, which you could be killing him. And, you know, when it comes to a scenario like this, time is everything. And apart from that, Satyr is pretty easy to kill. Just avoid everything that he does, interrupt his sleep, and that should all be fine. And it's just worth mentioning that this scenario, as much as it is repeatable and as amazing as it is very down to RNG. The Sands of Time can have a chance to offer you bronze drakes. These instantly complete a dragon shrine. Alternatively, you have a chance of getting an epic item. These epic items will pretty much give you a skip, which will, for example, just take you straight to the last boss of one of the Chrono ports. And considering how long some of the Chrono ports are, getting those will basically save you a ton of time. Like, if you get a run without getting any of those, good luck. I don't think you're going to be able to beat it. So doing this, you always need those skips, you always need those bronze drakes, so it's really just down to getting the stars to align for you and getting that RNG. Now, on the way over to the Emerald Dragon Shrine, which is where I was going next, found another rare along the way. This one sort of walks around the outside of Wormrest along the bottom. Kill him on the way. If he's not there, don't worry. There's plenty of them around, so just grab the ones you can. Otherwise, it's probably not worth wasting any more time just going out of your way to try and find them. On the way to the Ruby Dragon Shrine, there's another one along here that just walks around here. So again, these are very quick and very easy. Now, everyone does this their own way. I found that doing the dragon shrines first is more effective. Other people do the chrono portals first. I do dragon shrines because the rares, the bosses, the chests in the dragon shrines all offer you, I guess, more sands of time than you get actually in the chrono portals. And more sands of time is what you need. More sands of time means a chance of the Drake to clear out an extra one. More sands of time means more epic items. Whereas if you do the chrono portals first, it kind of, I don't think it's very efficient. I don't know. That might just be me. Other people do it differently. So, if you've completed it that way, then, props to you. But that's just not how I would do it. And again, when I killed that rare, I just got a bronze drake, which instantly cleared that ruby dragon shrine for me. So you notice I didn't actually go and have to kill the lich. So I was hoping it would actually clear the obsidian, because that would have saved me a flight going over there, which is probably would have saved me quite a few seconds. Instead, it cleared the one I was already at, which wasn't what I was hoping for. But hey, a bronze drake is a bronze drake. I'm not going to complain. It's better than, I don't know, a damage reduction buff or something like that. So along the way to the Obsidian Dragon Shrine, found another rare. Then you just want to kill that, get some Sands of Time, and then move into the Obsidian Dragon Shrine. There's a load of chests in the cave. I find that they really weren't worth going for. I just went straight to the Dreadlord, kill the Dreadlord, and that should be that. Hopefully the Dreadlord shouldn't cause you too much problem. For me, I just sort of stun him, burn him down pretty quickly. I usually save some cooldowns for him, because I know that, especially if he gets, his Carrion Plague and his Infernal on you, and you don't get to heal between that, he can do quite a bit of damage. Now, he dropped me an epic item, and I got the Strathholm Gate Key, and I believe that's probably the best one of the lot. Now, I flew up in the air, and you drop down and kill yourself, because, as weird as that seems, you will actually respawn at the Wormrest Temple, which is a complete time save instead of flying all the way back. Now, I'm good. Now, at this point, I hand in the quest from earlier. This will give you 3 Sands of Time, and I got another epic item. This was the Cenarian Notes for Andoral, and I will be demonstrating these skips in the video itself, because that's what really helped me beat the timer. So the first one I go to is the Culling of Strathholm. So you remember before, well, you probably should already be familiarized, but remember, you have to do a quest, you have to open the door, you basically have to run the full path of the dungeon, go along the back alley, and then find your way to the last boss. Doing this whole thing normally takes like 5 minutes, that's like a third of your time in one place, and don't get stuck on the signpost like me, that's probably not very good, and you just want to head all the way back here, and I just, open the gate. Opening that gate feels so good, because you just skipped like 5 minutes worth of time wasting just to skip all the way to the last boss. It's such a great feeling if you get that Strathholm key. You need that key if you want to beat this. So, like I said, it's all very RNG. You need the stars to align. And when I just go in here, just kill the last boss, you notice there's like not even any trash. It's just all the way in, kill the last boss. It's like, there's not, Arthas hasn't even arrived yet. There's not even any zombies. It's just, you're here like 5 minutes prior to when you're meant to be, which is great. Kill him, no problem. go and save Chromie, get some more sands of time, and you can then move on to the next one, the Chrono port, right next to us, so you can just head straight back to Wormrest. And as you saw earlier, the next skip I got was for Andoral, so I like to go and do the skips first. You can get a quicker sands of time from doing that, and it's just way more efficient to do these first. So you want to head around here, and then as you know, you will find Chromie. So I pick up the quest, I go back here, hand in the Cenarian orders to this druid here. She will then order a ceasefire between the Horde and the Alliance, which means that Chromie can now just fly away, which means you don't have to kill any elites, you don't have to go anywhere near the cannon, and that probably just saved me like another 4 to 5 minutes right there, just using that one skip. Now, at this point, I don't have any more skips, and I'm on 6 of 8 done. Now, I head to Highjow, because Highjow is the quickest, and without a doubt, the easiest of all 4 of the Chrono ports. If you get the Mount Highjow skip, that's pretty unlucky, because you're not actually in Mount Highjow for long. This takes like maybe 3 minutes maximum, and is nothing to worry about. It looks more intimidating than it is. Like, the fact that Chromie actually freezes these mobs in time, and you know, and all that, makes it so much more easier than it actually looks. So you just want to go in here, and you know, I actually just killed all these normally, so this is the only Chrono port I did without a skip, and like I said, these mobs are just extremely easy. Here, being a Frost Death Knight, she lines them all up in a straight line. You just Breath of Syndra goes through all that. Very efficient. Those mobs also like to go into like a burning shield. When they're in that shield, they can't be killed, so I use Frost Breath on them first. Then I just kill the bigger elite. Then by the time I've killed that, their shield is worn off, so I can just go in and finish them. And then the next mob that will spawn is a Fire Lord. Alright, it's not Ragnaros, it's basically like Baron Geddon, I think that was his name. So you just want to go and kill this guy. He has probably twice as much HP as one of the rares did in Dragon Blight. So otherwise he's not too much of a problem, he's just probably designed to, I guess, stall you a bit more. And like I said, the skip that you can get basically spawns the Behemoth like straight away, but again, I don't think this actually takes too long. Now, this bird phase, this is probably, you know, the bit that actually takes the longest. You can technically pull all of these and AoE them down. They can do quite a bit of damage. I like to kill them maybe 2 or 3 at a time, just to be on the safe side. Last thing you want is to have a good run like this, where I got 2 skips, and then overpull on birds because I got greedy and then die. So, always play it sensible, but always try and play it quick. You don't want to be too slow, because obviously, you know, this is a time trial, but you don't want to be reckless, because dying can cost you even more time than just taking it slow. So don't take it slow, don't be greedy and take it too quick. You just want to be, you know your limits from experimenting. You want to just know how much you can pull, what you can take on, how much damage you can take, what moves are going to one-hit you. Just, you know, like I said before in the beginning of the video, I've said this so many times, it's all about just familiarizing yourself. You just want to know this scenario like the back of your hand, just to make this as efficient as possible. And once I handled all the birds, or say for example maybe you get the skip, you will just be taking on the Behemoth. As I said before, I think he's the easiest of all of these 4 Chrono, you know, bosses. He doesn't seem to be any trouble at all. You just interrupt his Fire Nova, stand out of that mini volcano, and you're done. Now, right next to the portal, there's actually, I found one of the chests. You can actually fly here. There is another chest in another location. Again, hopefully you should know that. And, you know, it's very lucky getting it so close. You also want to be facing not the back of the cliff, because all the mobs here seem to have a nice, nasty knockback. And I actually just got another skip. I just got another epic item, and this one is another very good one. So, you know, right there, I've just got the 3 best skips, and I didn't need one for Highjow. So the last one I need is Well of Eternity. And this skip summons a griffin that will take me all the way to the last boss. It's so good. Now, when you get here, you will find Chromie on the floor, and you sort of initiate a cutscene. Skip that, because I believe it does eat into your timer, but you see here, I had a bug. Chromie didn't follow me through the portal, which means I couldn't talk to her, so I couldn't initiate it, and if Chromie isn't going to come with you, that kind of screws you over. So I was like, you know, this is my successful run. I can't, afford to lose this. So I had to go back through the portal, find Chromie. She's sort of standing still, like she got stuck. So I'm like, oh no no no, please not now. Like this is my time. So I just thought, screw it. I'll phase back into the portal. Maybe she'll follow me this time. And thank God she actually appeared. I was like, oh, relief. So initiate cutscene, skip that, and then I can just cheese my way through it and use my skip, summons a griffin. And originally I would stick to the right hand side and just work your way around the Well of Eternity. There's usually a chest that can spawn on the right hand side, make your way to the portal. But I really hate down there by the Well of Eternity. It's again RNG, they all patrol around, you get the Fell Stalkers getting you. That will port you up here, and then you have a few trash packs to fight on your way down. Again, I can just skip and wave to those trash packs as I fly by on my griffin. You can sort of see a little bit on the outside of the dungeon there. I don't think you were originally meant to see that or fly that high. And like I said, I can just skip past all of it. I assumed the griffin was just going to take me to like the throne, and nope, took me all the way to the end. I can get off and just kill this boss. This boss, extremely easy as long as you just don't get hit by the images. But to be honest, he's never even spawned the images anywhere close to where I've even been standing, so it's like never really been an issue for me. So this boss, super easy. I was right at the end here. You can see I've got like 50 seconds left. I've also got a load of borrowed or stolen time, so even if this did take longer, or just for any reason that I maybe didn't get a skip, I might have still had a chance to actually take this down. Like, especially the Strathholm Gate Key is probably the best skip you can get, along with Andoral. I think, like I said, just the high gel one is the one that you don't really need. Like, obviously, if you get it, you can still try, but ideally you want, the other three. Strathholm being the best, in my opinion. And then once you complete that, you've now saved Chromie from all 8 threats. And when you arrive back at Wormrest, it says final stage. You port back to the present, and that's your quest done. The transmog set, some time warp badges, and that is it. I found it a bit weird there was no feat of strength or no achievement for actually saving Chromie's life. That's just me, and as a reward you get transmog. I'm a Death Knight, so I got the plate one, and well, it's not the best transmog in the world. I probably wouldn't use it, but hey, that's the scenario beaten. That's me done. I've got all the rep done in day 1. Obviously, I kind of thought that would take me a bit longer, but I guess it is down to a lot of RNG to beat it, and I just got very lucky, and I was able to make this guide for you guys. So I really do hope this helped. If you have any feedback on the guide, if you want to ask me any questions about it that I maybe forgot or just didn't cover in the video, feel free to leave them down below. Be sure to subscribe for some more Warcraft guides and videos. I will see you next time.